Let's see. Well, hello. Welcome to Tag Me. My name is Ben. I think if you're just seeing this for the first time, we're learning together. I we're having a false start with OBS, so I'm hoping that you see me now, or I figure out where I'm streaming. Excellent. Okay, we're live now. So I'm going to assume no one heard anything that I said. And we're going to start from the top. Hi, I'm Ben. Welcome to Tag Me. Thank you very much for joining. I'm happy to have you here. I'm going to dive right into it because I don't know how to use OBS today, and that's fun for all of us to learn together. So thank you again for stopping by. Today we are talking about my tournament, or not my tournament, I was not running it, but the tournament that I played in Orange last week, or this past Saturday at Dice House Games in Orange County, in Orange. We had a great turnout. We had 14 players, which was, a few people signed up late, so I was very excited that we had an even number and a great crowd. And our loadout for the day, or the IDs that we had, a little bit dominated by Anarch slightly on the runner side, and by Wayland on the corp side. And specifically, I guess on the runner side, it was actually a good split. A lot of people were playing different IDs. We only had 3 IDs that were doubled. You can see that here with Kit and Sable and Lou. And so that was really nice. There was a lot of variety on the runner side. Corp side was a little bit different story. We had 4 people playing the outfit, myself included. And I think that's just because you had a lot of people want to play it before it rotates out. And it's really, really fun. It's been the outfit's been around for a long time, and that bad publicity credit gain is just something that's really flexible, and you can do a number of things with. So it was really fun playing the ID as well. So spoiler alert, I did not win. I ended up 3-3 at the end of the day, which I'm pretty happy about. Last week was the first time I played Standard in a really long time, and I had some rough lessons that happened on stream. So, forgetting Doof was a thing. You gotta play Standard sometimes, it's good. And that lesson did do me some good going into the day. You'll see in my first matchup, but so we played for Standard for the first time last week, and I'm just glad that we were able to actually use those lessons in the tournament. So I'll talk a little bit about my matchups here and how it did. Although if you weren't with me last week, these are the 2 decks that I was playing. So I was playing this Seb deck, which primarily used Alaceris crew along with some breakers, and just tried to extract value out of the ability of taking a tag and installing stuff. And my deck, as I mentioned before, was the outfit. And I just really like gaining bad publicity and having big ice that makes it difficult for the runner to deal with, and that made me happy. So that was really good. But let's talk about each individual game. As I said, there was a lot of things to learn from each one, and it was a very different experience. I had a great time with all my opponents. And in very first here, I ended up playing against Ferrup. And I was playing Corpside as outfit against his Sable. And I'm not going to lie, this was a rough game. This was a rough game for me. By turn 6, I had drawn 15 out of the 20 points of agendas in my deck. And I was not able to play out of it. I saw 2 pieces of ice. I did slam the first one on HQ because we learned from last week, Doof is a card, and we didn't want that to happen, but it still wasn't really enough. Drawing 15 points, for perspective, that was 8 agendas. I actually drew 8 agenda cards before I was able to draw 2 or 3 pieces of ice. So even though the numbers were not favorable there, I played the best I could, and the accesses that he had from Sable really worked to propel him forward. And Ferrup even said afterwards, he's like, yeah, I just played what the ID told me to. Like, Sable's mark was on R&D, he ran R&D. It was on archives, he ran archives. Kind of just did the things that Sable tells you to do and points you in that direction. And it worked out really well. Played the game great, and really was able to take advantage of me having a bit of a flood. So that's bound to happen. As I said, my deck does also have only 2 copies of Spin Doctor, so I'm doing it to myself a little bit here too. So, and I'm only playing 45 cards, which is a big part of it as well. It increases the agenda density, increases the likelihood I'm going to see those agendas. And even though that's generally what I want as a rush deck, as I want to see the agendas, that's why I only play 45 cards. That was a bit too much for me, so that I couldn't play out of it. But it goes that way sometimes. For the second round, we swapped sides. We ended up running, and we were against Jimmy Corrigan, a good friend of mine as well. Play a lot in the LA area, and he was playing this outfit deck, which is a bit different than mine, but he played it really, really well. And this was actually a game that I thought I was out of it. Like, very early on in the game, Jimmy Corrigan had iced his HQ, R&D really, really well. They each had like 2 or 3 pieces of ice on it. And there were advancement counters on the ice. Like, I think he had this tree line with some advancement counters or something. I don't even, like, ice was advanced. There was things that were not good on his side. Well, not good for me on his side, but I was able to stop myself from tilting. I like felt it. It's kind of funny. Like, in the beginning, I'm like, I knew I was frustrated, and I was feeling like just that, F it kind of attitude that was starting to build up. But I remembered what we had actually talked about last week, that I'm playing a control deck. I'm not gonna play from ahead. That's not what the deck does, especially early game. So I just took a deep breath, drew cards, installed cards, let the game kind of settle and equalize a bit. And by the end of it, I was able to claw back. I got Hermes on the board. I got a bit of economy going. I found my Awaceris crew, and I was able to find the agendas and just like keep ahead of steam. And knowing that, and like really keeping in mind what my deck is trying to do, and not let myself focus on what his board state was, let me play the game that I needed to play. Because he also plays his deck a little bit differently. This deck plays 3 regulatory captures, and this was part of it. It's like, I got frustrated because I knew he was playing 3 regulatory captures. I had no claw. I have no way to stop, install, advance, score a 2-pointer. That's really good. And he had like 3 or 4 bad publicity really, really quick. So that's why I was like, I got in my head. But again, just like keep in mind what we have to do and what our deck does. Get the Hermes out, get our economy going, destroy their ice, and put pressure on them. And I was also really benefited by having access to archives. Excuse me. I ran there a bunch to get crew. I ran back there. I was able to reinstall like fermenters and programs because I did steal the SDS in this game, so it cost me a program to do. I had to get that back. I ran into a snare. One of the snares I hit, I lost 2 of my breakers. I lost my cleaver and I lost my buzzsaw. Just straight up lost them relatively early in the game because I'm like, he's not going to play a snare. I'm not worried about net damage. I'm not worried about damage. Well, I was. And using privileged access to be able to run archives and reinstall, once we got to threat, get my programs back, keep my pressure up with Awaceris crew, and I was able to like maintain and equalize a bit, and I ended up getting a win out of this game. And I was really, really happy with how this went. He did also, like, he Trojan horsed me early and under the bust me early. Like, I was really just getting attacked early game, and it would demoralize me. And again, this was a great game of Netrunner. I really had a good time with it, and it was well played on both sides. But this was one where I felt like us playing together on Friday or last week made a huge difference, and that was really felt good to see. Oh boy, oh boy, we're hitting buttons. We're hitting buttons now. Okay. So anyway, back to the tournament. That was round 2. We got a win out of that. So now we're 1-1 going into round 3. And I paired up with Night Waffle, another LA player who I've played a lot. Oh, you might not be able to see because of my face. Let's see what we can do. Let's move me over here. Okay, great. So, round 3 ended up pairing with Night Waffle. I was back on the corp side. So this tournament was all, I just went back and forth the whole tournament, which I like. And I played against Asa. So this was another bit of a tough game. I did draw agendas pretty fast and was able to score them out. I had a bit of a remote. I think I got to like 5 points before Bankar hit the table, which felt really good, and was just able to rush it out and get myself to a good point. And more importantly, I did not hit any big agendas off of the core damage and the sabotage triggers. So a bit fortunate. Sometimes it kind of happens that way with Asa. You can get lucky or you can get burned. And this was a game that ended up going to time, and I won on time. Because, I mean, Night Waffle didn't draw his card, like, their cards didn't come up maybe the way that they wanted. As I mentioned, Bankar was kind of late, and I scored out quick. And I got to the point late in the game where I believe he didn't feel like he was able to secure the win, and gave it to me at once time was called. So appreciate that. But it was one of those matchups where it could have gone either way. It just depends on how the core damage, the sabotage goes, and ended up walking away with a dub on that. Round 4, this was a cool game. So I'm back at Seb, and I'm playing against an Epiphany Analytica deck. And fortunately, this is a deck that I'm really familiar with. I've played a lot of Epiphany over the last year or so, I guess, since it came out. I think the idea is really cool, but I've played a lot of Epiphany. I still have an Epiphany deck built and ready to go. I could have ran that instead of the outfit, but I knew what my priorities were on the board, and I wasn't worried about the trigger, the ability, the Epiphany ability, as long as I can control or know what he is fielding on the table. What I mean by that is that he had a Public Forum was on the board for a really long time, and there was another card I don't remember anymore. I just blocked it out. But everything that would trigger his ability. So if a Hollow Man was on the table, of course you have to trash that. If there's a federal fundraising, something that lets him know what's on top of the deck, have to trash that. Money. Anything that gave him money, I didn't really worry about. Right from the get-go, Epiphany was very rich, and that was really clear. And I didn't have the economy quite to keep up with trashing those assets. But Amani, Sanai is another one. All of these assets that would have allowed Epiphany to use their ability and use their tricks, those were the priorities going in. And I knew I just had to focus on trashing that and just limit the use of the Epiphany ID. Because if that can get rolling, it's problematic. If I'm letting the federal fundraising go for multiple turns, I'm screwing up. If the Hollow Man is left on the table for more than one turn in an unprotected remote, I screwed up. And it really just became a game of keeping my economy on track and checking the remotes. And I had my Hannah, my wheels out pretty early on. I had my fermenters cooking. I had my daily casts. So I had the economy, and I just focused on that part of the game. And knowing the game plan and keeping your head in the right place with the game plan really did did work for me in this tournament, and I think that's a really worthwhile thing to take away in any event, especially a competitive event. Know what your deck's going to do. If you have matchup knowledge or deck knowledge on a specific thing, use it, and don't get caught up in what you just see or what you're accessing. Like, think about it for a second. And I'm saying that again, this is for myself, because I don't do that all the time by any stretch of the imagination. And it's been really fun while I've been playing with you guys online that I've been able to see and like make those notes, really like keeping my head on, noticing it. Anyway, we got a win out of that game as well. And I told them afterwards that I knew the matchup, and I knew the deck really, really well, and I knew the tricks and what to look out for. And JD Barty agreed, and like, yeah, he played it well. He did play it well. I just had a good strategy, I think, and I drew well. I had the money, I had the fermenters cooking, and he just couldn't install more cards than I can check. And if I can run 3 things and then hit a fermenter after 4 turns or whatever, that's not bad. So anyway, round 5, end up playing against Kenji, and I've been playing against Kenji for a really long time. He was another one of the people who I've been playing with since FFG days, for way, way back. But I was corping again, and this was against Lou. So I was feeling okay about this, because I don't have a lot of things for Lou to trash necessarily. I'm probably gonna have a remote up, a full-on server. I'm not just installing stuff willy-nilly that Lou can just access easily and trash like Epiphany might have been. So this was a matchup where I just tried to pour on gas and just go, and I couldn't quite close it out. He was able to trash. He got 2 imps out early game and ran R&D and trashed a bunch of my ice and made it so I had a hard time just formulating a defense. If you can like destroy some of my ice, if you can imp away some of my ice, I think I purged in there a couple of times to try and keep the imp counters away, and then of course install Simulchip and just refresh it again, and it doesn't matter. But that was just a matchup that he had a lot more tempo than I did. Was able to get in and trash my ice with the imps, which triggers Lou, which draws him cards, which gets him new things, and then moshing and everything, and just get the Anarch engine going. And he was able to go faster than I was and outpace me. So again, one of those things could maybe have gone another way if I drew some ice. This was also a game that came pretty close. I was big. I think I big dealed him in this game actually, because I had a lot of money early, and I had the agendas in my hand, but I wasn't able to deal with the disruption from Lou and score at the same time and keep like purging on tempo when I needed to and do all these things. So yeah, it's it happens sometimes. You like to be able to score the big deal, and it did come close, but he was able to trash some key cards at key moments, and played it really well. Played exactly what he needed to. So really good game with Kenji as well. Which brings me to 3-2 going into the last round, where I played against Lago Jr. Again, I've been playing with him for a long time, especially in recent years. He went to Worlds as well last year, and we competed there too. So another familiar matchup, familiar face, and I was playing at Seb against Asmari, and this is one that I made a lot of errors, and I don't think I played this particularly well. He played it perfectly, for the record. Like, I'm not taking anything away from him, certainly. He played it very, very well. It was a very hard deck. tough matchup. And I just didn't think about the things right. I think I might have been a bit hungry. I didn't eat lunch going into it. We didn't break, and I forgot my snack when I left home. So another good tip, make sure to bring a snack. Because I did not have the brain power, I think, going into this one. One mistake, for example, is I stole not an SDS, the data, the 5-3 I'm blank, or yeah, 5-3 I'm blanking on, that makes me shuffle 2 cards in. And I shuffled in an Awaceris crew on the board instead of a leech, when my hand consisted of 2 Devil's Charms. And that felt bad to realize afterwards. I just don't know what I had going on. I think the logic that I ran with was that I only play 1 other leech and I was getting value from it, whereas I played 2 more crews in the deck, so there was 2 more crews in the deck at that point, and 3 privileged access, and there was a crew in my discard in the heap. So I think my logic was that I keep the leech to see a crew, but because I have a high likelihood of seeing a crew later, but I don't think that is that was sound, obviously, especially with 2 Devil's Charms in my hand. That was just a big mistake. And I couldn't get value. I had a lot of tags for a really long time. I didn't have the economy to really remove them, and when I was able to finally remove them, I ended up getting them all back immediately. As Mari had a lot of money, I wasn't able to use my ID because I was tagged a lot, and wasn't able to play daily cast because I was tagged, and it just was like, it was one of those games where it was like a train wreck in slow motion for me at some point. And it went that way. I wasn't too familiar with the matchup. I do think if I played the matchup again, I would have a much better time of knowing where I need to play or how to play. And that mistake might have made a difference too, but either way, I got beat, which is fine. And good games to all my opponents. It was really, really fun. Lamem ended up winning, followed by Kenji and Ferrup. And I know Kenji and Ferrup play together a lot, so they've probably been practicing a little bit. But, yep. JD Barty got 4th, Lago Jr. got 5th, and I ended up with 6th. Ichi Cortex 7, Taco Mental 8, so on and so forth. So congratulations to all the players. It was a really good event, and I'm stoked to be able to play and see you all again. So really good job. That was super fun. But we have another tournament this weekend, and it's a little bit bigger. I think it's the one, we'll pull that up in a second. But I'm kind of thinking I'm gonna end up playing the same decks because I'm familiar with them, and I've been playing them a lot lately. And I think they did well. The Corp deck maybe could be changed. I like it. I do like playing Outfit, but I don't know if it's the strongest. But it's one I've been playing for a long time, so I'm super familiar with the lines and the way I want to play it. And maybe it can go better for me another week. So that's currently my current thoughts. But here, I'll pull up the event too, and we can take a look at it together. So we'll go upcoming, and this one is a bit further. This is in San Diego, San South Standard District Championship. So we got a district championship coming up already, and I'm pretty excited. We do have, they also make custom cards, and actually, before I get too far, we did get custom cards for the event. This was one of my prizes for the one in OC. It's a custom Urtica cipher. I hope you can make that out, maybe closer to my face, in front of my face. I don't know. But got a play set of these, super cool. Always love custom stuff from the community as well. So looking forward to even more of that with this event. Our host here does make a lot. They've done a lot of custom alt arts with this group, so I'm pretty excited. But so far, it says there's 7. I'm sure we're gonna end up with a lot more than that on the day. But yeah, so another tournament coming up, and I'm pretty excited. Want to go down to San Diego and get in some more Netrunner, and do it again. That's where I've been talking for a long time. So let's actually play some Netrunner, huh? Let's see what we can do. We'll take a look at these. Deck-wise, if I wanted to make changes, Lotus Field didn't really do anything on the day with the outfit. Is that true? No, that's not true. I actually did install and res Lotus Field. I installed and resed it against Night Waffle, but he botulised it. And that's kind of the problem. And I remember Jacob commented on that last week. They asked me if Lotus Field was making a difference. And it's good, but the problem is that Awasaris Crew does get rid of Lotus Field, or can't get rid of Lotus Field, but Botulus gets rid of Lotus, or just deals with Lotus Field. It makes Lotus Field blank. Even if you purge with Botulus, it's just going to gain the counter back, and the one counter is enough to break it. So it's like that kind of thing doesn't always feel good. But and maybe that gets cut. Maybe that gets cut. The big deal, I think, is invaluable. A seamless launch could probably be, maybe could be changed. Oh, you know what? There's news. What am I doing? So we've talked about the tournament. Let's talk about some news. Because there's all sorts of stuff going on. Let's do this one first. This is cool, but so new game night kit. 2025 Q2 game night kits are available. These have finally been announced. We get to see some of the full art, it looks like. These aren't alt arts, just going back to full arts of an Audrey V2 and Behold, which is pretty interesting. That card has been seeing more play, but not one you always expect for alt arts. And yeah, super cool. Love these 2 cards. Audrey, I saw Audrey a bunch yesterday, Saturday, playing a bunch of Anarchs. But the bigger announcement is the Learn to Play decks, and more specifically, Scoops. We got some new cards to talk about. Let's look through them. I would definitely recommend reading this. Learn to Play decks is something that's been talked about for a really long time. System Gateway, as part of the big thing with System Gateway, as you know, that they have those starter decks. So it's cool that they're announcing a different product like this, and something that specifically is meant to teach people the game. I think that's really important for the health of the game, right? You need to find an easy access point for people to start. So it seems like this is going to be something that happens going forward, but there's some exciting new scoops here. And if you don't want spoilers, or if you like to keep the new cards a surprise until you open them up, look away now, because we're going to talk about them briefly. And I'm always excited for scoops, so very, very stoked. Are you looking away? Hoping so. Hope you're muting now, because we're there. Woo! All right. So this first one, Anthill Excavation Contract. Wayland, 3 cost, 1 trash. Asset Industrial. When you res this asset, load 8 onto it. When it is empty, trash it. When your turn begins, take 4 from this asset and draw 1 card. Really cool. Very reminiscent of cards that exist. Old hats might recognize the campaign kind of idea, where you make money at the start of your turn as long as it's up. This is a bit different because it excavates the money very quickly. So it's a 5 credit swing net, right? Because you gain 8 credits and it costs you 3. However, it is very inexpensive to trash, and the first turn that you res it, the only value you're getting is a click and is a card draw and a credit, which is nice. It's kind of replacing itself, and you could say you clicked for a credit or clicked to draw a card and clicked for a credit instead of that click, but you need to protect it. This isn't something that you can just leave out. It's 1 credit to trash. I don't think there's any runner that would just ignore this if you left it unprotected, unless there's some way to punish this, maybe like an Oppo or a Trojan horse, I guess, that's going to rotate out. But you get my point. Really cool card. Love that it also draws a card. I think that's a pretty neat trick too. So you can draw 2 cards and get a net of 5 credits. Pretty good. This is going to be something that's trashed on site, I think, pretty much universally. 2 influence as well, so it's importable, but probably not. I hope other corps have reasonable economy options. Next thing is Kesselroyd. It is a 2 cost, 1 strength barrier. The runner cannot trash this ice while it is rezzed, and 2 end the run subroutines. It's 1 influence. This, I think, is definitely not the Lotus Field replacement. Obviously, it's a bit different. The numbers are very different, but it does stop the runner from trashing it, and has 2 subroutines. So you could argue that this is, better than Lotus Field in some ways and worse in others. Against Cleaver, this still only costs 1 to break, right? 1 to break 2 subroutines. So if you have a Cleaver, this is nothing. If you have an Audrey, it's still only 1 virus counter. And I think it's it's only 1 virus counter. Botulus, it's 2 virus counters. But it's it doesn't cost anything. It's pretty small, all things considered. So I'm curious if we're going to see more of these. The fact that it's 1 influence as well kind of indicates to me this is meant to be, or at least meant to be, ice wall / like a permanent ice wall kind of card. And for 1 credit more, I think it's good. I do absolutely think this is a fine replacement for ice wall if you don't need to advance it, and most of the time you don't. So this will probably be the swap for that. Next one. And we will also talk about all the cards at some point once they're all released and we know more about it. But I'm just kind of going over it quick. Especially in the context of the whole set. The context of the set matters a lot. So we're just kind of winging this. These are the first 4 cards from Dawn or from Elevation, I should say, we've seen. And I'm excited about them. So I'm hoping that when we see more from the set, it'll help contextualize what we might do with these. But this ice is I don't know if I can pronounce this, Sialendra? Sialendra. Anyway, 4 cost, 5 strength, code gate, AP ice. You can advance it. When the runner encounters this ice, if it has 3 or more hosted advancement counters, place 1 advancement counter on an installed card you can advance. And then its subroutines are place 1 advancement counter on an installed card you can advance, the runner loses 2 credits, and do 1 net damage. Pretty interesting way to handle advanceable ice. I think this is a cool design space, and I look forward to seeing new takes on this pre-existing idea of advanceable ice, where this isn't getting stronger. It's not making the subroutine stronger. It's giving it an on-encounter effect, which is something we've seen in a lot of cards. And it's a really powerful on-encounter effect at that. Especially like mid or late game, if you stick this, and if you're in a bluff deck and you stick this behind or in front of an Urtica Cipher or something, you can force more damage or a Cerebral Overrider or anything like that. So really interesting ability to put an advancement counter on something. And the other subroutines, giving it another subroutine is really good too. This isn't stopping you, so it's not going to stop the runner. But you can change and help your board state in other ways. Also you're making the runner lose 2 credits and doing a net damage affects the runner more directly than, allowing you to put an advancement counter. I don't know. It's interesting. I'm not really sure what to think about it. This is one where I think, like I was saying, the context of the set is going to matter a lot. But it's an interesting idea. I like the departure and the new ability for advanceable ice. And the last card is an Anarch card. Really cool art called Rising Tide. 1 cost program Fractor. Icebreaker Fractor. This program gets +1 strength for each Fractor in your heap. And interface 1 credit, break 1 barrier subroutine, 1 credit +1 strength. So pretty interesting icebreaker. We haven't seen this kind of card effect ever, I don't think, in Netrunner, where it gets stronger for each copy of something in your heap. So again, it's a cool design space that we haven't seen. Of course, if you look at the maximum potential, I suppose you could say, of this card, that means it is a 3 strength Fractor that can break for 1 and increase its strength for 1, which is honestly pretty similar to Corroder. I think honestly the numbers on this card will usually look like Corroder, which was a 2 cost icebreaker. This is again one of those cards that's been around for a really long time, and I just think this is kind of like a new version of that, right? Because even without the other text, it still has this break 1 barrier subroutine +1 strength. Except Rising Tide is a bit higher strength by default. So, again, a card that... Oh, where am I here? Here we go. One of those cards where the context of the set, I think, might make this more interesting. But seeming to be a relatively even replacement of something we've had for a long time. So it's cool. I like the design space. I think I still like seeing the new ways that they look at the card. Of course, the one thing you will probably not see is this out of faction at 2 influence. Unless you only wanted to play 1 copy, I don't think you'll ever see 6 influence being spent on 3 Rising Tides. Who knows? I mean, it's still a Corroder at the end of the day, I guess, so maybe. But that's kind of my vibe on this. Not bad at all. So I'm going to wave and flail for a minute, and if you've just had me on muted in the background, hopefully that gets your attention. So that's the some fun scoops. Thanks for sticking around while I went through that if you went away. But let's get in a game here. I do want to get in a couple of games before we get too far. Before I get too far away from it. And yeah, I'm gonna plug some more games with these. I think they're both pretty reasonable. Honestly, this deck I was really happy with. The runner, my sub deck, is the one I was the happiest with. It felt really good. The game that I lost against Asmari, I think I underestimated the Solidarity badge in that matchup. I probably should have probably tried to mulligan for it, if I'm being honest, and get it somehow. Just because that was a game that I was trashing stuff, because that was part of his game plan. He wanted me to trash things. It would have helped me out. The Solidarity badge, I think, would have been a good card for that matchup. But let's get into some games. I will play any of them. Oops. Live. We'll do any side, and let's just see what we got, huh? Standard. Yeah, great. Always good to check. What's been the meta like for any of you watching? I've been wanting to figure out what's playable. Like, I don't know. The meta seems to be in an interesting spot right now. People are either playing things that... Honestly, I feel like a lot of people are just playing startup. Even though Jinteki, we see a lot of standard. People I've talked to have seemingly been playing a lot more startup, which is nice. I'm hoping that we're going to start to see a lot more scoops coming now. Now that we've just started to have them coming out from Null Signal. And it would be good too, because I think everyone is ready to start chomping at the new meta. And just like the opportunity to get more players in, you know? It's a really good way. Really good entry point. Alright. Valenshao Nova. That's cool. I don't think we want this. I don't think we want 2 Basalt Spires. Nova. I have no idea what Nova's gonna do. Truly no clue. I think we just... Do we... Yeah, we protect HQ. Let's, too big to fail. Let's just... We're the outfit. We're the bad guys. We're the mobsters. Let's get our money, protect ourselves, and just let it happen. Let it go. Alright, a lot of green cards so far. Makes sense. Those are good. Let's get our Rashida going. Let's get some new cards. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. So, SMC. So they have access to a lot of cards. No money. Honestly, I think we border control. New remote. I think we Atlas. No. I think we Tucana. Server 2. And do we Atlas Server 2? And just see what they do? No, we protect. I think we're gonna actually protect R&D here. Let's see if we can force something on the remote. Maybe they'll have a trick and use it here. If not, we can install the Trebuchet, install the Atlas, and advance the Atlas. This gets us in a really good spot. It gets us an Atlas counter, gets us Tucana res, and we can keep protecting ourselves. And get the Atlas counter early game is huge as well. So more building up here. Okay, so this will help them get their SMC going a little bit too. But let's install the Atlas. Let's install the Trebuchet over server 2. And let's advance the Atlas. So the key here is we're using our money to bully the runner around a little bit. We can, yep, they're just gaining money. We can absolutely res all our things. That's really good. All of this is really good. Advance, advance, advance. Res the Atlas, or the Tucana, and score the Atlas. Let's get a... Let's just get a Winchester over HQ. So not huge. Oh, you know what? With the reg cap in our hand, maybe we did want to get a bad publicity ice here. Yeah, I think that was actually probably true. Because we want to be able to fast advance that thing out sooner than later. And it's kind of just clogging up our hand. It's a one of in this deck, and this deck is a little bit different where it doesn't need to rush the bad publicity to just FA to fast advance out the regulatory captures. It does it, wow, a bit differently. Oh, wow. So, okay. We have our big deal, we have our Atlas. So if we Atlas a too big to fail for money, we can install the other Atlas. I don't even think we need to do that. I think we just install this in server 2. Let's advance that. Do we Atlas? Kind of think we do. Yeah, let's just do it. We're going to get another one. We're going to get another one. So let's just keep our money up. Keep the pressure on. Because I don't think they can get in here. And if we can get another Tucana res, we can stick that over R&D. And we're not going to have the money to do this next turn. But we will be able to get it pretty quick. I mean, we can also Atlas for the too big to fail. So it's like... no further action. Tucana, alright, fair enough. Fair enough. Artist, another card you don't see that much. Oh, and our last too big to fail, which we probably won't be able to play for a little bit. Just keep it going. Keep the Atlases a-rolling. Although, at this point, we just need money. Conduit, yep. Continue, we'll res the Valenchow. I think this is gonna fire. I don't, oh, well, they can SMC. Maybe they SMC something. Firewall, okay. Drawing cards. Yeah, I think we're in a good spot. But the runner, for having one of everything, is really set up. Really, really quite set up. So, this is actually protected here. I think we install this in server 2. And we gain a couple of bucks. Now let's install this over archives actually. And gain a buck. So next turn, if we... 4, huh? No, we're a buck short. Maybe we shouldn't have installed the Valenchow and just gained a credit. Maybe that was right. Oh no, because we can Atlas. Never mind. We can just get Atlas the second Seamless and Seamless advance to score that. So we might not even need the too big to fail here. Trebuchet, 1 click left. Trebuchet, border control. Well, let's just res our stuff. Sure thing. Continue. We will res. Encounter. Cleaver, border control. Continue. Let's have a think here. If we pop this, they run back. They don't have the money. Oh, no, they do. They do have the money to get through the trebuchet. They steal this. We can get something back. Get something back. Thinking. I think we kind of just give this to them. Because we can score this out. And then we can get an Atlas. Or we can use this to get a hostile. So I think we just let them have it. We'll get the... I guess we'll get the too big to fail. I don't think that's important. We have another one. I guess arguably the Tucana would have been fine, but I don't think we're gonna... We don't want to install anything else in the remote. We just want to score. We just want to win. So we got to score this red cap. Most important thing we can do on our turn is score the regulatory capture. Getting the silent ship back. Super cool. I like what they're doing. They've been doing a great job. Start turn. Audacity. All right. Our deck is just 2 install. They don't have enough for Clot. Oh, they do have enough for Clot. Do we think they have Clot? I don't know. Let's install. That'd be pretty good. Action. Action. Let's make sure. Always want to check. They do have things that they can do. All right. Get our 2 points. We are at game point. They need to slam R&D and hit so many cards to prevent us from winning. Like, they need to be, at this point, really fortunate, I think, to keep us from winning. We have a bunch of points in our deck. 2, 4, 6, 9. So we still have 11 points and 27 cards. It's fine. Okay. Sure. I will... Do I want to res this? Credit, install, Audacity. Credit, install, Audacity. That's all we need to do. So let's just res it. And then if they want to use that to steal, they can't get rid of the Audacity from our hand. We don't have anything really important for them to steal. We can also too big to fail if it's a problem. Pays 2 SMC, pound and point, most of pays 4, pays 4. Cool. Works for us. Okay, just take the access. I think that's a fair point. But they don't have any clicks left. So that's going to be, I think that's going to be it. Start turn. Let's Atlas to get our hostile. Let's install and Audacity. Gee, your engine was great. Couldn't believe how fast you got set up. Like, I don't remember ever seeing a Nova that fast. Like, from my point of the table, having it be, what turn is it? Turn 9. I guess that seems really early. To, like, it was too poor. But they had everything that they needed ultimately. Yeah, I see that. Yeah, I see the econ problem. Yeah, I felt pretty okay early. You had all your breakers out so soon. You just needed the cash. Yeah, like, the money was a problem. I guess that's why they play the artist. To help get some money and install things for even cheaper with the paladin is nice. Dirty Laundry, Finality, Hannah, Miss Bones, Wheels, Overclock. Yeah, okay. Well, oh, the Dirty Laundry was a bit of a problem. They couldn't run through the Val and Chow. Okay, so I guess that was a good res, or good install too, was protecting archives. That's one thing I've noticed in the modern meta. It seems that all of your servers are really important. I got by one of, I think last week you saw it, by one of Iru in like Criminal or something, just to drop it on archives. Just like, all right, that's great. Like, it's so good. So I think protect even something, just something. Just be money and draw. Maybe you cut all the fancy tricks and just have it be all money and draw. Maybe. Maybe. Hello, trick. Yeah, that's... trying fun, weird stuff until elevation. Yeah, it felt good. It felt pretty good. I like the artist. This is just one that you don't see. Like, you know, there's these, the class act is the other one. Like, some of these, the nihilist, they're kind of callbacks to the old IDs, the old school ones. Like, this is supposed to be Andromeda, this is supposed to be Kate. It's just interesting. Like, for 4 credits, I don't know. It takes a long time to extract the value. And at 5 influence, it's really kind of hard to import it. Like, Class Act does a lot for 5 influence, and this I don't think does the same. Don't think it does the same. Artists is sometimes included. In the oldest version of the deck built around a dumb reboot assimilator combo. That's cool. That's super cool. The reboot, yeah. I guess these are all cards that you can play in Nova. I just never really thought about that. Oh, artist obviously makes that better in slow matchups if I get that early. Yeah, it seems a bit pricey. Unless the game goes long. It's a hard matchup. It's a hard matchup. Which is kind of what this does. That's the point of it. It just rushes throughout and tries to get through fast. But yeah, it's gonna go that way sometimes. I feel like I'm stating the obvious at this point, so I think we should find ourselves. Yep. Yeah, that was a concern. As we do the overclock. What did I pull this for? What else? Oops, not that button. Sure. What do we got? Spin, Valentine, Seamless, hedge. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, that's fine. Hey. For the game. Cool. Was always good. Let's see if we can get a runner game in. I mean, that went smooth. That's basically as smooth as it can go. Granted, Nova isn't exactly a on meta deck, but God, I love seeing stuff like that. It's so fun. That's like some of my favorite stuff. It's like sitting down from something and genuinely having no idea what is gonna come down the pipe at me. I find that very like exciting. I'm like, I want to see it. I want to see them go off. I want to see everything in their deck work as intended. Oh man, again, I did it with my face. My face is in the way, huh? We will try and remedy that when we get in. I don't know if that's right. We'll find out. please let me know if my silly face is in the way. I would love to to make sure that you guys can see everything. All right. Hey there. This is okay. Privileged access early isn't great. Sure Gamble's good. Friend of a Friend's good. Devil Charm's pretty okay. They're gonna go fast. Are they gonna go fast? Are they? Let's just keep it. Let's see what happens. Let's try keeping the privileged access. This, I don't know. Having two of them especially. One isn't so bad. I mean, we have some triggers. And a subliminal, huh? Okay. Alright, let's get my face out of the way now. We can see what's going on. Boop, 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 boop. Oh boy. Touchscreens are fun. Okay, let's, what do they do? Install. Okay, great. We're gonna draw. 1, 2, 3. Just get a counter? No, we have a Devil Charm. We don't need to do that. Oh, perfect. Yeah, let's just slam that down. Because they can install advance. Like, you never know when they're going to hostile takeover or something. So I think getting this down early against Wayland is okay. I usually try and wait for Hermes until we see something installed and there's some sort of threat. But for this matchup, I'm okay with it. And I think this is really smart. This is super, super smart. Icing up Archives. Especially against a deck, against Anarchs. I think icing up Archives modernly is really, really smart. Kind of tempted to make them res something. So let's leech. And let's just try running HQ. Let's see what we can get. Afshar, that's unfortunate. We're gonna run last click because we ain't afraid of nothing. Tree line? Okay, fine. But now we know. Knowing's half the battle. Our Hermes is less good. Hermes is much less good now. Maybe we should have waited, but it's fine. I think it's okay. Yeah, they're gonna try and make that big. Advance. Oh, this isn't... Oh, they're just gaining money, basically. I'm curious if they'll keep advancing this tree line. I think it would... I mean, getting it to 7 is really big. Stall card, the root of R&D. Oh, of course, okay. Okay. Yeah, so they... Oh, or maybe not. I have no idea. Who am I kidding? I have no clue. Hannah's not doing us any good. Let's draw again. Hannah's still not doing us any good. We install, pop it, install the Hannah, clear the tag, gets us some money, installs the Hannah, does some things. I suppose we will... Oh, because that... that's actually okay. If they install it, trash the Hannah, we have another Hannah. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. We gotta get our value. Gots to get the value when we can. Have they drawn? No. No, they have not. I don't think they're going to draw. This is striking me as a very slow deck that we're playing up against. That is the feeling I get. So let's see. Okay. We're gonna draw. Hermes again, not important. Yep, we're We don't got to go fast. We will get rid of the Hermes. That's our second copy, so could be bad if they have Retribution or something like that, if they find a way to trash our Hermes, or if we run into like a Trebuchet or a Winchester or something like that, or a Hammer. Hammer wouldn't be great. But this is fine. None of this is quite worrying yet. We can go slow. They're not threatening anything. If they do threaten, we can always bounce this advanced dice or that advanced dice and set them back a little bit. Sure Gamble's good. Solidarity Badge is pretty okay. Do we just keep doing that? We're not going to trash a corp card. That's kind of the only problem. This is not something we're going to do very much. Let's definitely Sure Gamble. Let's just Charm. Just because we can do that. We can Solidarity Badge. I guess that is effectively, because Solidarity Badge triggers with when we blow something up too. Trash a corp card. Not an installed corp card. Like I said, Ice is an installed corp card. That's why we play Solidarity Badge, because we forget Ice counts. Advance. Oh, interesting. Advancing the rice multiple times. I wonder if these are Pharaohs? Super curious. Back to archives, huh? Okay. That's okay. That's probably not going to be super helpful for a little bit. We're going to have to start prioritizing cards, because they're not doing anything fast, but we don't want to install a bunch of stuff that's not doing work for us immediately. Valentina's probably will do something long term. So I think we should install the Devil Charm, and I feel like we install the Valentina right now, even if it feels bad. Because it does feel bad. It's also, Valentina's another card that we can install with our ability. I guess we have Manuel that we can still install with our ability, but Valentina would have worked with it a little bit better. Yeah, I don't necessarily love it, but advance that, wow. Yeah, this is going to be a very slow deck that we're playing against, but I think it's okay. I'd really like a Fermenter, actually. A Fermenter would be so good against this matchup, because we don't need to go fast, and something that's just cooking, like giving us those credits, well, not giving it to us, but slowly feeding us those credits will be really good. Isaac, yeah. So I think this is a play. I don't think we run this, because we will want to dismantle this. And I think we'll just let it go, because we don't want this 3 res thing resed. 3 advanced ice resed. That would be bad. I would love to Hannah into it. They don't have money, so it can't be Pharaohs. It could be Hordem. I don't think it's worth running this. We have nothing. And we have no threat. Like, I can't... Oh, the Fermenter's good. I think we let him have it. Then let's install the friend, install the Fermenter. Let him go. Let's let him cook. Subliminal. Okay, sure. That's fair. And if they don't, if they advance this card in server 1 and don't score it, I'm not really sure what to think about that. Yeah, they're trying to bait us into something. What are they doing? What are they baiting us with? Stall advance, huh? I don't think we take that bait. It could also just be an NGO. Make the Baya bands fizzle. I mean, I don't really care about any of these things in our hand. Do we just do it? Do we Hana it? Let's just do it. I'm curious. My curiosity's gonna get the better of me. Let's go find out. This is free. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense. Draw. Okay. I don't want to use Friend of a Friend. So, daily cast, I don't want to install that. This is probably going to be not super playable. I don't want that. I kind of don't want to lose the Hana either. Or the Devil Charm. That's a bummer. I think we just gain a credit, which doesn't feel good. I don't think this is a super positive move. Do we just get rid of this? Get rid of the Hana? I think we do, actually. Or the Baya bands. Nah, I think the Baya bands is going to be less good. We don't have anything open. With a friend, we could play the Baya bands in theory, but not without an open server, I don't... At this stage of the game, I don't think Baya bands is the best card in their hand. So installing the Hollow Man and then using it, I think Dragon Bob might... Advance a card. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. What could that be? 3 advancement counters on that. Are they just slow playing it? They might just be slow playing it to undo the damage from us. I think that's the likely scenario. Start our turn. Let's draw. There's our crew. How do we want to consider this? We could try and run... I don't want to run server 3 right now, if I'm being honest. I think we draw again and just keep doing something. Nuka. I do like Nuka. Let's play. Actually, I think we do this slightly differently. Oh, if we friend of a friend, remove the crew. I think we goofed it. This might not have been the smoothest execution that we've done, but that's fine. That is a-okay. We'll just do this. Let's gain 9, take a tag, install the crew, remove tag, end turn, discard Hana, which hurts, but I don't think we need that so much. This is all fine. That is what I'm going to keep telling myself until this goes disastrously. That's fine. Let's get this. fermenter, which isn't awesome, but it's fine. What could this be? This has got to be Pharos, I think. I think it's got to be a Pharos. Man, I really want Iru. Man, do I want Iru. Alright, so if we run, if we privilege access archives, because we want to install this again. Do we think we can get in there? I think we can get in there. And then we hit R&D? Interesting. Yeah, I think we privileged access archives. Oh, but if they don't res it, what do we install? Nothing. That's why. That is the concern. So I think we actually run R&D first. Tree line, we'll give it -6 strength. We will... Oh, we're going to have to take a tag because we want Manuel. Yep, that's fine. Is what it is. We got to do it. Continue. We will breach. Regolith. We'll trash. Descent. Don't love that. Don't love that so much. Now the problem is we can't necessarily get in here if they res that. So that's not great. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Do they trash any of this? I don't. Oh, they probably trash Manuel, huh? Is that whenever? It is whenever. Let's run our R&D again. Let's just see. Descent, tree line. Great. Not really, but we will pretend. So let's Devil Charm and remove the tag. We use Solidarity Badge to draw next turn. That was really not great. Yeah, maybe we should have run Archives. I don't know. We have no threat without the privileged access, though. And that could just be the Descent. And then the next card being Tree Line's pretty not good for us either. Pretty not great, but this is not the worst position. I'll daily cast, and then we'll draw a card. Buzzsaw. That could be... Oh, wait. If they advance that, it's not a Descent. Yeah, that cannot be a Descent. Cannot be a Descent. Let's Nuka. Perfect. Perfect. Exactly what we wanted to see. This is actually exactly the cards we wanted. So, I don't want to drop this yet. I don't think we want to drop the crew yet. I think we just hit the Buzzsaw and gain a credit. Feels a bit passive, but we don't need to move right now. I think we're formulating a plan. We're trying to get a plan together. So, Subliminal install. Okay, so now the 2 cards on R&D are fresh. Here, I think we play crew and then privileged access. Interesting. Could have also trashed that, installed it, but this way we can get it installed with the fermenter, I guess. It's a current server one. Eminent domain. Oh, so they're gonna install something. They're probably gonna go get a archer. But we can also bounce this now. Unless they install over archives. I think this is our target. Most definitely, actually. This is our biggest... This is our hole. This is our biggest opening, is archives. Especially if we can get 2 crews down. With another privileged access in our hand. We can start to do some damage, I think. And they don't have a lot of money either. So this is actually... Ooh. Interesting. Okay. We're going to bounce that. And that's new Chesvo. So we can just derail this whole server if we want. 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh good, we don't even need to use our Devil Charm for this. That's great news. Let's privilege access. Breach. Let's Seb to install a crew. Let's privilege access to install a crew. Let's Fermenter. Pretty good. Pretty good use of a click. And now we're tagged. Do we want to clear that? Do we want to do this? It's Nuka. Maybe that wasn't ideal. So 1, I think we just run R&D. Oh, wait, do we clear on R&D? Clear on R&D? Then we're going to have be tagged. We're the crew. No, we don't want to end our turn with a tag. So we're not going to use that. So it's 1, 2, 3. We could remove the tag with Hannah. Sorry, thinking. We really need to hit R&D this turn. Is my biggest thing. And we want to clear a tag. So I think then we have to run R&D, blow this up with a Devil Charm. Oh, that sucks. Because without a doubt, they hit our crew. They might not have enough money to res that. They might not have enough money to res that. This might not be bad. Actually, I think we just do it. Remove a tag, gain some clicks back, and now we can run R&D and counter. No, I will take a tag, install the friend of a friend, use the leech, and use the leech, and trash the Mesna Chesvo. Continue. Continue. Perfect. Breach. Now we're going to get to see 2 cards. Divested Trust. Perfect. We're going to bounce the R&D ice. Border Control. Fine. Now we have 2 clicks left. We are going to run back because we have 2 clicks remaining. So let's run back, see another card. Border Control and Extract. Fine. And let's clear the tag. Okay, cool. Whew. Turns. There's so many triggers in Seb. Sorry, I'm not like... I feel like there's more things I could be talking. What's this do? Sell a piece of ice from HQ, protecting a remote server. Place 3 advancement tokens on that ice. Okay. Oh, they didn't... Okay. Accidental. Yep, makes sense. Makes some sense. Install, advance. So we really do have some good answers here. Okay, so let's start our turn. We will Solidarity Badge for a card. Daily cast, cool. We can most certainly blow up whatever's in front of R&D if we need to. I think we check. Did they draw? No, they didn't. Of course they did. So we don't know the top card. I kind of want to see what's here. Let's just run archives, huh? What's the worst that happens? We can run R&D first. Tree line. Ooh. So the thing about that is I don't want you to have it. I will not use that, though. Nope. Because we want to take a tag, install the Nuka, and boop, boop, boop. And trash. Oops, not that card. This card. And now we're going to see 2 cards. And I actually think if they don't res that, we only see 1 card, and it's... Yeah, we just see the extract. So I don't think they actually needed to do that. But I'm not mad about it. I think we run archives. Because they don't think they can res this. And that's the descent. Okay. That's fine. We're still getting our leech counters. They don't have money for that. We do have money to lose. It's a code gate. So it would cost us 3 credits to get in, but we see 2 cards. It's pretty okay. We see 2 cards, and I can't install that. Our economy. No, we can't run. We'll. What do we do? Yeah, let's just run it. It costs us $3. Sees 3 cards. I think that's fine. Oh, continue to encounter. Nope. Break. Fire. Continue. Breach. Priority construction. Colossus. Okay. Alright. That's neat. That's not one you see very often at all. And I think we just pop this to remove the tag. Get us some bucks. For $6? For $6? Yeah, let's just do it. Game 5, remove a tag. Now, the reason I was thinking about not doing that is because we could also, later in the game, pop it to gain money and install the crew for free. And now that I'm saying it out loud, that was the right play, I think. Would have been to hold off. Hold off for later in the game. And I think that was my 2nd friend of a friend. Oh, that was a 3rd friend of a friend. Yeah. That's, yeah, oh well. And I think we have 1 more crew in our deck, right? No, we don't. We have all our crews. We've gone through our deck pretty fast. They have no money. 3, 3. All right. Let's Solidarity Badge for a card. Steel Skin. That's okay. That's fine. Do we draw? I think we just run our... Did they draw? Gain 1, gain 1. Extract. So we know what's on R&D. So let's build. So Sure Gamble, Fermenter, Daily Casts. And let's trash this other Fermenter. And get to a point where we can pressure with everything else. I guess it's okay if they purge here. No. It's a lot of counters, but... realistically, I think we should have run here last turn. I actually think that was our goof. I think we should have run here to blow these up. I guess we still can. Still a possibility. Iru, we need cards. I think what we need is in our deck still. We could start to threaten R&D. It is fresh. Let's Nuka. Nope, we did not see the card we wanted. Really want the Iru here, is what we were looking for. Drognev isn't really going to help us. Well, it installs the crew for free for a click. Bahia Bands could also do a thing. Maybe that's okay. Let's Drognev install the crew. Let's run R&D. Okay. Do we want to blow this up? I don't really want to blow this up. It's just not worth our time to blow it up. Isn't particularly worth the time. I really wish we just had... Oh, we're definitely not doing that. So this would be our last crew. If we blow it up, then we gotta just hope we can get back in there. Which is probably gonna be another barrier. It can be advanced. It could be another Auquette. This... I think we gotta trash it. I do think we gotta trash it. Which is questionable. Admittedly, a questionable move. Oh, wait. I wanted to trash... Sorry. Okay, there we go. Thank you. What did we do? We just ran, right? I'm just tripping. Oh god, I'm going crazy. I just ran. No further approaches. Yeah. Okay, run R&D. Good. Okay, so now I will not do that. I will do this, and we do this. Now we continue. We breach. Now we trash the NGO. Haha, we did it right. And that's interesting. I'm not going to worry about it. We're going to trash it, and we're going to run back. Are we Bahia Bands back? Yeah, we just run back. Yeah. Anoetic, trash, Regolith. You can have it. End turn. Goodbye, Leech. Goodbye, Leech. Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. We do want to get this Mimic down. For the Colossus, I guess. But they don't have the money for the Colossus. Really for the Archer. Gain one. Excellent. So we're going to keep our money. We're going to be able to remove the tag. So let's Solidarity Badge to remove the tag and gain us a buck. Everything else fires. That's pretty good. That's value. Let's pop the Steel Skin. Perfect. Think we pop the fermenter. Yeah, I think we pop a fermenter. Install a cleaver and mimic? No, I don't think we installed the mimic yet. I think we just installed the cleaver. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we click for a credit? I don't really have a super ultra productive thing to do. I don't want to run here yet. Let's just gain a credit, I think. It feels less ideal, but we don't need the solidarity badge, so that's easy trash. And just like hold on, like we're running out of deck. We've kind of burned through a lot of stuff, but our deck has one more privileged access in it. We have one privileged access in our hand, so we have 2 more crews effectively. But we almost have our whole kit. Okay, now priority reconstruction. And they're going to install something here, which we're going to have to respect. But they don't have money. Oh, okay. Yeah, that tracks. Certainly tracks. Certainly tracks. Colossus. +1 strength. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Could be 9. Give the runner 2 tags. Trash a program and a resource. Well, that's big. Well, that's big with Isaac. I think we need to hope we never have to deal with that. Is my professional opinion. So, we want... Mimic is good, Privileged Access is good, Steel Skin's good. I think Steel Skin, Mimic, Privileged. It's going to install a bunch of nonsense. Steel Skin. Okay. Could be better, could be worse. Mimic. Privileged. So I don't think they can keep us out here. I mean, we have a lot of leash counters. The Mimic, even an Archer can't stop us. So that can't be an Archer. Great. Breach. Let's Seb. Do we need to Seb? I don't. Sure. Privileged access to get a crew. And we can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's get another fermenter. Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's just +1 of you? Okay, never mind. Nope. We good. And we can... Oh, I guess we didn't really need to install that. We could Bahia bands. But let's just clear the tag the old-fashioned way, I think. I guess a purge here would be interesting. One of the last 2 cards in our deck is our Iru, which we really, really want. So, yeah, it has to be. We do this. Yep, last card of our deck. Sometimes it be like that. We Iru, we use Iru, we do not use her for that. Let's see 3 cards. And this is where I think it's difficult for our friend here. I think Dragon Bob's going to have a tough time. Tree line. I don't think we crew this right now. I don't think we crew it. Do play break. I think crew is way more valuable at this stage of the game. I mean, arguably this would be a free R&D once a turn. Las Vingo, cool. Regolith, no. Hedge Fund, no. Right, is it HQ? Do we buy a band's HQ? No, because then we remove the tag. But we have to keep our crew. We have to keep our crew. And our Eero. Really, we have to keep our cards. So let's just remove the tag. I think it has to be in their hand, or they're... Like, they have to have something in their hand. Oh wait, you guys see me? Hold on, what's going on here? Okay, I gotta get, I have to do something for my audio really quick, really important. I'm gonna run really quick. Hey, Sogami, I see levels. Sorry about that. I hope you've been able to hear me. I just heard my audio interface click and I looked over and it didn't have batteries, so hope we're still good. What did they do? Install, advance, gain some money. Okay. All right. So if we run, we only see one card, which isn't good. None of the cards in our hand are... Maybe we privileged to get another crew? Now? Do we just do it? And then that lets us run our HQ. I actually do think that might be a solution. We also can then pop the crew. Yeah, I think we do. I think we privileged here. Force them to res. Ice Wall. Okay. Encounter. I will not Devil Charm. I will break. Maybe we do it on this tree line. Two. Yeah, I think we do. Yes, we could have done it last turn. Yes. Done. Resource crew. Probably should have popped the fermenter first, actually. Definitely should have popped the fermenter first. This was bad value on our part. This was a mistake. That was definitely a mistake, because we could use the money, too. Let's see if we can run HQ. Man, what's going to kill me is I think we actually pop the fermenter after all this. Once we're done with this turn. Well, I guess not. If we can make it through this turn without needing the money, we keep it. We're afraid of a purge. Because if they purge and we lose 12 credits, it's actually kind of big at this stage of the game. Because money is gonna be our... Yeah, that was a big misplay, I think, this turn. We should have actually thought our turn through here. Yeah, we should have thought our turn too. Because if we could have cycled the fermenter here and have a new fermenter cooking again, I think it changes how we can play this. Especially because I'm expecting there to be an SDS that we're going to have to steal. They probably do play 2 SDS. Let's reach priority construction. Basalt Spire. Hey, we got one. We got one. That actually is wrong. I don't think the Colossus is what we want to do. Because they're going to throw that Colossus over Archives. And if they pull back a tree line, they can NGO front. So they're going to try and bluff out something through that remote, I think. We can run back on HQ before we clear the tag. Yeah, I think we run HQ again. Oh wait, hold on. Wait. Oh wait. 1, 2, 3. Because then we can't clear the tag. Then we can't clear the tag if we do this. That's a bummer. Because it's going to cost us 3 credits to run through the Afshar. Oops. What are we doing here? Let's type. I think we got to pop the fermenter because we have no money. Even though I think there's another agenda in HQ. I think we have to pop this and then we have to clear the tag. Because we need to keep our crew threat. We still have the Devil Charm. They don't need to know we have the Devil Charm. Because that's still really valuable. And I just got money. Okay. Archives is also... Or, not Archives, but R&D is also going to be really open next turn. And since we can blow up the Colossus if they res it this turn, I think we're in a good spot. I think the smart thing would be not to res the Colossus until it's outside of our trash threat zone. But until we lose all these leech counters, there isn't a way to get it there. If it's Colossus, we can blow it up. And that's the biggest concern I have. If it's Pharaohs, we can blow it up. So I think the first thing we do is we Eero. And then we can also run HQ. Getting the NGO and using Regolith is curious to me. Bingo. Advancement token gains end the run for each advancement on it. Barrier. Okie dokie. Oakley dokley. Let's break. We'll continue. Counter. We will break. Breach, hedge, SDS. GG. Super tough opening. Icing the 3 centrals. The 3 centrals. Yeah, that was tough. That was a really tough game. I was genuinely concerned about the archives early. If like you saw how much work I did just making sure I could run archives when I needed to. Once this deck loses access to archives, it's over. There's nothing else it can do really. Because there's just there's too many things that it shuts off. See you run. That was really tough though. I was a bit concerned for a really long time. I think I got to the point where I could stabilize kind of late game. I don't think I felt good until I had 15 cards left in the deck, which is a bit late considering we also didn't have our icebreakers on the table at that point. So we got into a position where we could have overextended in this game as well by not thinking through our last turn. If if more of the agendas were further down R&D, I think it's possible that we start to struggle in this game. The tags, yeah, I think we're almost to the point where we start clicking for credits for a lot of our actions. The nothing here on archives is a concern. Putting 2 advancement counters on Ice Wall might have been a bit better than rezzing the Masvingo. Actually, maybe not because of the leech. But not moving the Isaac, like we never interacted with Isaac all game. And even that last turn, like once I start slamming archives, I feel like moving the Isaac over makes it much more difficult. We can still get in again. We had the leech counters, but it also would have given the Masvingo advancement counter, would have given it another counter when it rezzed. So interesting lines. But awesome. Yeah, some really good games today. I think that's going to be it for me today. Pretty good long stream today. These are the decks I'm going to keep playing. I'll let you know how it goes again. I'll try and keep better notes. I think in the last week, some of it kind of left my brain. So hopefully that was detailed enough for the tournament. But I do also want to get back into recording games live again. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it before Sunday because I work again this week, work again tomorrow before. But at some point soon, I would love to get back into the recording live games because I love playing in person. It's a lot more fun. And I like that old content. So let me know if you'd like to see that. If you'd like to see those more content like the videos that I uploaded a few years ago. If that kind of was your thing too, please let me know. Right now, I've just been kind of playing games and going through my thought process. But if you want to see more specialized content or more specific content, please let me know what you would like to see. That's kind of part of this. Like, I can talk about Netrunner endlessly. So let me know what would make you happier, and I'll do my best to make it happen. So thanks again for checking this out. Appreciate you watching, and I hope you have a great weekend. Later.